All right, should be able to see charts, should be able to hear me just fine. I will go ahead and get started on this last market wrap of the week. Good afternoon, this is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for June 25th, 2021. We still do have some time until the market closes, a little shy of 20 minutes left in the day. Qs right now about flat on the day. SPY showing relative strength up 0.37. Okay, so I don't know if the market's going to move too much from here. Like I said, just about 20 minutes left in the day. I don't expect too much. It's been a pretty narrow day here on the Qs and SPY. I think actually IWM has also been relatively bullish. Yep, the strongest of the bunch, but also not moving all that much. Came into today bullish across the board. IWM, Q, SPY, all looking bullish. That made it easy for us to have a market bias, as you remember. We came into Monday neutral, waiting to see which way we would resolve, and by the afternoon, we knew what direction we would be going, or at least what direction the charts were saying we would go. So we've been bullish on the Qs and SPY all week. Not a runaway bullish market, but bullish. Okay. All right. Let's get into today's plays. For me today was all about the NOK. You know, and what was nice about this week is that, and that's kind of the point of the open house, that's the point of the room, is that we talk about the things that we look for, why we do the things that we do, and sometimes I don't have an example for you, right? Like we saw the VOD twice this week, today and yesterday, gap down. And yesterday at the open, I was watching, I was like, yeah, I don't think this is going to be a decent sized bar. Okay, and the reason I'm comparing this is an ADR also. And so it's hard to know when the ADRs are going to move, okay? They're going to gap quite often, but it's the day where they get lots and lots of volume. Big volume on that day. You'll see it right away. You can use the 5-minute or the 15-minute, and you'll see it'll go off the charts right away. Okay, those are the days I'm willing to play the ADRs. Any of these days in here, hard to know if it's going to move or not. But you can see it gaps all the time on the daily chart, right? And that's because it's reflecting the overnight trading in the overseas market, its primary market. So the NOK today, and I've been saying that, you know, throughout the week as we've looked at ADRs. So that was the nice thing about the NOK, is that we look at this chart right here, we look at that opening bar. Now, I didn't know that it was necessarily going to end up looking like that, right, in the morning when I'm going through the gap. But that confirms for me as soon as we open, right? And I don't have to be getting in at the first minute, right? But there it is. The reason I'm using the 5-minute right now is so you can see the past few days. And look at the volume. Here it is, right? Now it's kind of setting the top for the chart. Okay, if we go to the 15-minute, that's the one I typically will use because you get to see more days while, you know, without having to zoom out too much. You see, there it is, again, setting the top of the chart. So that's the day I want to play the ADRs, okay? So here was the setup on the NOK. Got a pullback here and then based into the rising 20 MA. It was only a 5-cent stop. Okay, 5-cent stop right there, and then target 1. Okay, target 1 into the new highs. Now, it wasn't an easy hold. So if you did not manage it like how I managed it, which I lived through this pullback, you had a chance to get back in. And so there was also an idea to get back in or add to it over here. It was over 48. Okay, so I had 49, could have added again over 50 for the next leg up, topped out there around 565. So on the original play, max out around 4 hours. I did hold this, just the runner there, which eventually trailed or bowed an R on the last runner. So, you know, not great on the runner, but that's just how it goes. With, you know, I'm going to look to hold as long as the uptrend is there. So, you know, I did get some out here, but sometimes, you know, that happens, which is fine. You know, I just wanted to make sure that I'm in it for as long as it's going to uptrend. And even the last piece, which trailed, even that piece was still up in R from this 41 entry. Okay, so that was the focus for me today on the NOK. We got the gap, and then we got the volume to kick in. The other things that started moving, like, of course, the EXPR and the LXRX and these other things, I guess helped a little bit. It happened last time I played the NOK too. The last time I played the NOK, I think the AMC and the GME started moving. So I don't remember if it was this day. It might have been this day. Played it similar, got the volume, had a gap up as well, got the confirmation that it was moving, and then when the AMC and the GME started moving, then I got the next target. So that's kind of what happened here. You get to the nicer target because they all got picked up. Now, of course, it would have been nicer to have been in the EXPR, much bigger move, but it wasn't on my radar until it was already moving up like this. This breakout is okay. We talked about it. I thought it was up too much. I thought this next move up was also up too much. So I, didn't take part in any of this. Didn't benefit from any of this nice move up. It's nice though. So really, the only kind of by association, the NOK did get a little bit of a nicer move there. So I think for a lot of people, this is probably their nicest play today. That was the only thing I gave you numbers on that triggered. The other thing that I gave you numbers on this morning was the YPF, but the YPF didn't trigger. Okay, I'll show you what the setup was. It was just a sell setup. Shorts were a lot harder this week. As to be expected, market was bullish, so the longs were definitely easier. I was looking to play underneath this base right here. We got that nice bottoming tail right there. I said underneath that, stop goes above kind of that pivot there, and it went and took it out instead. So it went and cancel the play. And then I'm not going to be getting in it multiple bars down into the trigger, right? That means, someone else who probably was shorting it aggressively is going to be taking their targets. It's not a good place to be starting a position when you've already had multiple bars down like that. It's pretty much chasing. So that was it. That was it for me. I mean, there were some other things we saw throughout the day. There always is. But I thought we did a good job throughout the week. This is not the really busy time. Mid-July, end of July, it'll be a lot different. We'll have a lot more gaps to work with. You'll see a lot more symbols on this list. But right now, I think we're doing a good job. And that's what I've been saying for the last few weeks is focus on quality. Focus, right? It's not always easy because sometimes the things that you're focused on, they don't set up quite right. There's always that temptation to start moving on to other things that aren't as high quality or to lower your standards for the setup so you can get more trades in, right? So now is kind of the time for me that is the most dangerous for over trading, okay? And so if you were following us throughout the week, very, very picky, right? Throughout the day, a lot of things that, on the hot list, maybe one or two items, and then we'd kind of really dig into them, right? We talked about what was wrong with this FSR, right? You can still see our discussion. I said, and this is similar to the YPF. I like it. It's bullish. The daily is also bullish. Okay, here's the daily. Okay, look at all that room to the left, right? Transitioning on the daily. Okay, so I like the daily. Maybe it gets moving today. We've got a little bit of a spike in volume, so there is something there. People are looking at it. Okay. But I don't want to be playing after this big green bar. Okay, if it had based up here at the resistance, fine. But it did a pullback. In the pullback, you can play the pullback, but it was also a little bit sloppy. I said, okay, good. We got the bar. Now, if it stays up here, okay, now we can play over it. What did it do? Right, came in instead. Okay, so especially on these where they kind of just get picked up out of nowhere, you want to kind of find the next updraft. Right, still have to be kind of careful and picky about it. So you saw a lot of that today. So never even really got numbers on this because I don't know where the stop would have gone if we're going to play over this green bar. You could have like estimated maybe like here or here, but notice the 5 minutes also still extended for now because this move was so recent. Okay, and so there were a lot of symbols that we looked at, and when it came to actually taking the plays, giving you the numbers, and managing them, all of that, right? Really try to focus, and that's going to be the same going into the next few weeks. Okay, all right, so hopefully you got to see that in real time this week. Those of you that joined us, big thanks to the counselors and the co-mods, and especially the regular room members. Helped everyone kind of get acclimated and get adjusted. You guys were all a big help. Okay. All right, so I will see some of you first thing Monday morning. If not, it's fine. Trading styles, there's lots out there, and our trading style may not be for you. That's completely fine, but I appreciate you stopping by and checking out the open house. Okay, so that's it. Hope you had a nice week. Hope you have a great weekend as well, and I will talk to you on Monday.